joins me now live from Sydney. Good morning to you, Treasurer. Live from Sydney. I saw you out and about yesterday. How was it to taste and feel the freedom Victorians can't?
Well, it was great to see people in Sydney going about their normal daily lives in a COVID-safe way. The cafes were full, and speaking to the business owners who had to close in the early stages of COVID-19, who put their staff on JobKeeper, have now taken their staff off JobKeeper and are doing a roaring trade. And it's great to see people getting out and about, going to work. And when you look at the number of cases that you've had in New South Wales, it's even at one stage been higher than in Victoria. And you've had a number of days of cases of more than 10. Yet in Victoria, as the numbers are coming down, millions of Victorians are still subject to the harshest lockdown measures than we've seen nearly anywhere else in the world. So my message to Daniel Andrews is to get on with it, is to stop stringing people along and give them an opportunity to get about their daily normal lives in a COVID-safe way.
There is no doubt. Over the weekend I heard from many of my friends who have been pretty good about the lockdown and doing the right thing. There's no doubt that has shifted, and they have growing frustration amongst them all on how fast they're coming out of this. But the problem is, you can't really do anything about it, can you?
Well, again, I'm calling on Daniel Andrews to do something about it for the people of Victoria, not for me, but for them, because they're the ones who count. Kids are now starting to go back to school, but they've lost months of school. And you can't replace the experience in the classroom with the experience in the living room. And you've seen the mental health of young people deteriorate with a drastic increase in the number of calls to the various organisations that are providing that relief. And you read these open letters to the Premier from GPs across the state who are saying that they're having to give antidepressants to kids as young as 12 because of the impact of the lockdown. It's just heartbreaking, Karl.
I know.
Not to mention all the small businesses that are losing their livelihoods. Now, we are, as a federal government, the Morrison government, we've provided $28 billion plus to the people of Victoria, and will continue to provide that support. But it's up to Daniel Andrews, you know, to give people back their freedom. He's been criticised by the health profession, he's been criticised by the legal profession, he's been criticised by the business community for not doing enough. And well, he's even lost his health minister in the middle of a pandemic. He needs to budge, and he needs to actually just get on with it and give people back their lives in Victoria. Okay. Enough is enough.
In Queensland, should the Prime Minister really be campaigning during COVID? The Deputy Premier there says he should be focused on the pandemic. Is he right?
Well, the Prime Minister is doing absolutely the right thing in talking about jobs for Queensland, jobs for Australians. He's out there, and yesterday it was with a defence manufacturer talking about how we'll strengthen our nation, how we're investing record amounts in defence procurement here in Australia. Today he'll be out and about again. Every day he's talking about jobs. Every day I'm talking about jobs. Yesterday I was a local cafe. The day before I was with a baker who employs more than 150 Australians. The day before I was in Penrith with a manufacturer who's producing fantastic equipment for construction sites across the country. These are the people who are going to make the decisions to hire more Australians, and it's the decisions in every factory floor, it's the decisions in every shop front, it's the decisions on every farm, it's the decisions around every kitchen table that will help hire more Australians and get us out of the COVID-19 recession. Government, Karl, is a catalyst for the recovery, but it's not the solution. The solution lies in Australians' hands.
Yeah, but he's well and truly involved himself in the Queensland campaign now, and the Deputy, I'm not sure you and the Prime Minister actively bagging the Deputy Premier in Queensland is wise, is it?
Well, again, the Prime Minister's getting on with talking about jobs. That's his focus. The Deputy Premier can throw barbs at us. Again, that looks pretty desperate. Our focus is on jobs, visiting those businesses that are helping to create jobs, releasing a budget which has a roadmap for the economic recovery, and importantly, without the measures in this budget, the unemployment rate, according to Treasury, will be 12% this year and 12% next year. But these measures are giving business a fighting chance. These measures are helping to put more money into families' pockets.
Again, the problem
These measures in the budget are helping to guarantee the essential services.
Joshua, the problem is that Queensland businesses, they've come out today and they're warning the state's spiralling debt in Queensland isn't sustainable and the broader closures are draconian. The issue is that nothing is getting done about that, and the Premier is not changing her mind, and it is popular for her to keep those borders shut. So why would she change her opinion?
Well, closed borders cost jobs, and we've seen not just the impact on the economy of those closed borders, but we've also seen those heartbreaking stories about families that have been separated from loved ones at time of grieving at funerals or in times of getting access to medical treatment. So there are a lot of adverse consequences from those closed borders. I think Gladys Berejiklian has been absolutely right, calling for those borders to be opened and putting that pressure on the Queensland government. And Karl, I would say to you, bring the Premier on and put to her the views of business, put to her the views of people across her state who are seeing the negative impacts.
Yeah. The issue is that she says that she's acting under medical advice, and the medical advice has not changed. So is the medical advice wrong?
Well, again, there's medical advice to the New South Wales Premier, and that is saying that the borders should be open. There's medical advice that's been discussed at the National Cabinet, and that is giving the Prime Minister the reason to be calling for the opening of the borders.
I hope they're open soon. Good on you, Treasurer. Thank you. Appreciate it. Ali.